Hi guys, hope you're doing well. I thought I'd share a quick video real quick with you guys on the storm reports and just kind of an overview on the severe weather that we saw this last week from Monday night through Wednesday evening, and just kind of show you what was expected with the severe weather event to what actually occurred and what was actually reality, and how significant this severe weather event ended up being. So I thought I'd give you a quick deep dive into this. So this is the severe weather that we saw Monday night. The severe weather threat started Monday night around 10 p.m. and that severe weather threat lasted overnight Monday night into Tuesday, overnight Tuesday night. The severe weather threat really went all the way until Wednesday evening and didn't end till that major low pressure system moved into southern Canada and the severe line of storms moved off into the Atlantic. So this was Monday night, and again, we only saw two tornadoes Monday night, and these were both EF1 tornadoes, so these were pretty weak tornadoes, which is good. The tornado risk wasn't really super high, you could say, I guess, Monday evening. The potential was there. The ingredients were in place, but there wasn't a large possibility for a severe weather outbreak with tornadoes because it was more of a linear line of thunderstorms, and there wasn't any discrete supercells. If we saw more discrete supercells Monday night, I think a lot more tornadoes would have occurred. That just was not the case. So we saw two tornadoes, which is good, and there wasn't as much severe weather expected as what was maybe possible. So overall, we did see, though, 90 severe weather reports. There's two tornadoes, like I said, 11 hail reports, 21 damaging wind gust reports, and then 49 just damaging wind reports, and then 7 significant winds reports. And those significant wind reports are when winds are gusting over 75 miles an hour. Quickly and show you right around Dallas. We saw just to the northeast of Dallas here, we saw a wind gust up to 78 miles an hour. 78 mile per hour wind gust measured at Dallas Airport, which is pretty crazy to see. And then there's one northeast or northwest of Dallas, 82 mile per hour wind gust, which is pretty crazy. I'll now move into Tuesday, which was definitely our higher chance for severe weather, which we knew going into Tuesday. So this is Tuesday severe weather, what we saw. And as you can see, a lot more severe weather occurred on Tuesday. There was severe weather all the way up into Nebraska and all the way as far east as North Carolina and even into Florida, which is pretty crazy. There was 24 tornadoes on Tuesday, and this occurred as early as Tuesday morning all the way into the late night hours of Tuesday evening. And that spanned from many different states. But the good thing with all these 24 tornadoes, and these are all preliminary reports, so my guess is there's still storm survey teams out there, and there's still going to be, I'm assuming, more tornadoes that are going to be noted of. But as of now, all the tornadoes that occurred, none of them were major. There was a lot of EF1 tornadoes, but none were as of now, resulted of higher than EF1. So a lot of weaker in tornadoes, you could say, but tornadoes nonetheless. And this was expected. We expected a tornado outbreak, and that definitely occurred with 24 tornadoes across multiple states. But I would say there was some more weaker tornadoes. The potential was there for some stronger tornadoes. That just didn't occur, which is interesting. There was a possibility for some EF2s, EF3s, maybe even a low-end EF4 tornado was not out of the question. But it is interesting that none of these tornadoes really got too strong. They still caused damage. There was a lot of damage across lots of these states. I unfortunately can't show you a lot of these pictures because that'd be copyright. But there was a lot of damage nonetheless. But like I said, not many super strong tornadoes. The highest ones were just EF1 tornadoes, which is good. But it's also interesting because there was a potential for some stronger tornadoes that just did not occur. There was only one hail report, which is really interesting. And that was in Texas here. It was a 3-inch size hail, which is pretty crazy. That was to the east of Waco and to the northeast of College Station. So that's pretty crazy to see, but only one hail report on Tuesday. And then damaging winds were the leading severe weather on Tuesday. We had 297 damaging wind reports and 2 significant damaging wind reports on Tuesday. So like I said, widespread severe weather occurred on Tuesday, and a lot of damage happened, especially across Texas, Louisiana, and even Alabama and Georgia. Northeastern Georgia saw a lot of damage from these storms. So I'll now show you Wednesday, and this was mainly focused on portions of Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. There are a few reports, like there was even some damaging winds all the way into Detroit, all the way just south of Detroit in Michigan, which is crazy. And there was even some damaging winds, as you can see, in north central Florida. But most of that severe weather, as expected, occurred in Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. And there was, as of now, one tornado that occurred. Again, that number could go up potentially. But there was one EF1 tornado occurred just to the east of Charlotte, North Carolina. And that caused some damage there as well. Again, Wednesday was not supposed to be the high-end severe weather event. Again, there was potential there, and as you can see, there was 147 severe weather reports, so obviously there was definitely damage on Wednesday as well, but Tuesday kind of was that bullseye severe weather day as expected, and just interesting. I've enjoyed kind of going over these storm reports and just seeing kind of what happened and what is expected. There was a lot of hype going into this severe weather event. This was, like I said, the 8th time ever in history that there's been a day 6 enhanced weather outlook, which is just crazy to see. It was the first time ever that there's a day 7 slight severe weather outlook for the state of North Carolina. First time ever, which is crazy to see. So there's definitely that potential there, and we saw early signs of that even, like I said, up to a week out from the event occurring. But I think there was a lot more hype than what ended up. We saw, like I said, over 24 tornadoes across these 3 days, but I think the conditions and the threat didn't really equate to all the hype that we saw from this event. Again, like I said, there's still a lot of severe weather that occurred, but it's just interesting to see how this was such a built-up event. And we saw damage. Like there's some warehouses and a couple different of these states that were completely like destroyed, like roofs ripped off and everything. And you can find images of that online. But yeah, I don't think the severe weather lived up to what was expected. You could say I was personally expecting even a couple more tornadoes, and I was expecting some higher end tornadoes, and we just did not see that out of this event. And as we got closer to the event, I think the conditions were just not in place as much as we thought they would be, you could say. I think some of the Torcon values on Wednesday were not as high as we expected them to be. And just there wasn't as much tornado energy, you could say, as what we once thought there would be. So that was kind of some of my takeaways from this severe weather event. I'm hopefully going to be doing this for more major severe weather events, kind of give you an overview after the storm, and just kind of give you an idea of what we saw to what was expected. So I just thank you guys for all stopping by. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you with the daily weather update tomorrow morning. So just have a great rest of your day.